Hello, my name is Sean Diamond. I'm the Vice President of Programs for Indiana Canine Assistance Network, ICAN. What is a service animal? Under the ADA, a service animal is defined as a dog that has been individually trained to do work or perform tasks for an individual with a disability. The task performed by the dog must be directly related to that person's disability. What does do work or perform tasks mean? The dog must be trained to take a specific action when needed to assist the person with a disability. For example, a person with diabetes may have a dog that is trained to alert him when his blood sugar reaches high or low levels. A person with depression may have a dog that is trained to remind her to take her medication. Or a person who has epilepsy may have a dog that is trained to detect the onset of a seizure and then help the person remain safe during the seizure. Does the ADA require service animals to be professionally trained? No. People with disabilities have the right to train the dog themselves and are not required to use a professional service dog training program. Are service animals in training considered service animals under the ADA? No. Under the ADA, the dog must already be trained before it can be taken into public places. However, some state or local laws cover animals that are still in training. Indiana laws allow service dogs in training the same access and rights as service dogs. What questions can a business or other public accommodation ask of an individual to determine if it is a service dog? In situations where it is not obvious that the dog is a service animal, staff may ask only two specific questions. Is the dog a service animal required because of a disability? And what work or task has the dog been trained to perform? Staff are not allowed to request any documentation for the dog, require that the dog demonstrate its task, or inquire about the nature of the person's disability. Do service animals have to wear a vest, patch, or special harness identifying them as service animals? No. The ADA does not require service animals to wear a vest, ID tag, or specific harness. Can a person bring a service animal with them as they go through a salad bar or other self-service food lines? Yes. Service animals must be allowed to accompany their handlers to and through self-service food lines. Similarly, service animals may not be prohibited from communal food preparation areas, such as are commonly found in shelters or dormitories. Can hotels assign designated rooms for guests with service animals out of consideration for other guests? No. A guest with a disability who uses a service animal must be provided the same opportunity to reserve any available room at the hotel as other guests without disabilities. They may not be restricted to pet-friendly rooms. Can hotels charge a cleaning fee for guests who have service animals? No. Hotels are not permitted to charge guests for cleaning the hair or dander shed by a service animal. However, if a guest service animal causes damage to a guest room, a hotel is permitted to charge the same fee for damages as charged to other guests. When can a service animal be excluded? The ADA does not require covered entities to modify policies, practices, or procedures if it would fundamentally alter the nature of the goods, services, programs, or activities provided to the public. Nor does it overrule legitimate safety requirements. If emitting service animals would fundamentally alter the nature of a service or program, service animals may be prohibited. In addition, if a particular service animal is out of control and the handler does not take effective action to control it, or if it is not housebroken, that animal may be excluded. When might a service dog's presence fundamentally alter the nature of a service or program provided to the public? In most settings, the presence of a service animal will not result in a fundamental alteration. However, there are some exceptions. For example, at a boarding school, service animals could be restricted from a specific area of a dormitory reserved specifically for students with allergies to dog dander. At a zoo, service animals can be restricted from areas where the animals on display are the natural prey or natural predators of dogs, where the presence of a dog would be disruptive, causing the displayed animals to behave aggressively or become agitated. They cannot be restricted from other areas of the zoo. Are churches, temples, synagogues, mosques, and other places of worship required to allow individuals to bring their service animals into the facility? No. Religious institutions and organizations are specifically exempt from the ADA. However, there may be state laws that apply to religious organizations. Do apartments, mobile home parks, and other residential properties have to comply with the ADA? The ADA applies to housing programs administered by state and local governments such as public housing authorities and by places of public accommodation such as public and private universities. In addition, the Fair Housing Act applies to virtually all types of housing, both public and privately owned, including housing covered by the ADA. Under the Fair Housing Act, housing providers are obligated to permit, as a reasonable accommodation, the use of animals that work, provide assistance, or perform tasks that benefit persons with a disability, or provide emotional support to alleviate a symptom or effect of a disability. For information about these Fair Housing Act requirements, see HUD's notice on service animals and assistance animals in people with disabilities in housing and HUD-assisted programs. Do commercial airlines have to comply with the ADA? No, the Air Carrier Access Act is the federal law that protects the rights of people with disabilities in air travel.
The Indiana Civil Rights Commission enforces the Indiana civil rights laws and provides education and services to the public in an effort to ensure equal opportunity for all Hoosiers and visitors to the state of Indiana. If you feel you have been discriminated against or treated differently based on your disability, call our offices at 317-232-2600 and speak to an intake specialist today.